Welcome to the Wonder Garden channel. All of us who grow orchids always hope that our orchids will remain lush green, healthy, and produce brilliant flowers with the most vibrant colors. At the Wonder Garden channel, we always share extremely useful orchid care tips that help your garden become filled with blooming orchid flowers full of vitality. To achieve healthy orchid plants like these, the most important thing is understanding the natural growth habits of orchids. Besides traditional growing methods based on the moisture-loving characteristics and strong adaptability of orchids, we also regularly share many other special growing methods. And in today's video, I will guide you through 5 extremely effective ways to grow, revive, and care for weakened orchid plants. These methods will help them return to healthy green growth, produce many strong roots, and continue developing beautiful flowering spikes. If you love orchids and want to learn more useful orchid care tips, do not forget to subscribe to the Wonder Garden channel so you will not miss any future videos. Method 1. Reviving a rotten orchid. During periods of hot weather or excessively high humidity, orchids can easily develop leaf rot and stem rot, just like this orchid plant. High temperatures combined with humid and poorly ventilated conditions often cause bacteria and fungal diseases to develop more aggressively around the base and stem of the plant. This can easily lead to yellow leaves, soft tissue decay, stem rot, or even cause the orchid to weaken very quickly if it is not treated promptly. However, if detected early and treated correctly, we can absolutely revive the orchid and help it grow healthily again. First, gently remove the orchid from the pot. Next, we will remove any leaves that are rotten, yellowing, or showing signs of disease. This helps prevent pathogens from spreading to the healthy parts of the plant. As you can see, after a long period of use, the growing medium has begun to decompose and mold has started to develop. This creates an ideal environment for bacteria and fungal diseases to thrive, while also reducing airflow around the root system. In addition to the English voice, we have now created dubbed voices in French, German, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, Japanese, Hindi, and Indonesian to help you understand the content more easily. Listen in your preferred language by opening the video and clicking on Settings, the gear icon, to select the appropriate audio language. Then use specialized scissors or sterilized scissors to remove all rotten, damaged, or dried portions from both the root system and the stem. The parts that have become soft, dark brown, black, or dried out will no longer be able to recover. If they are left on the plant, they can allow bacteria and fungal diseases to continue spreading to the remaining healthy parts of the orchid. Which country are you watching this video from? It's wonderful that we can connect with each other from all over the world. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please hit the subscribe button to support me and not miss any orchid care tips. After removing all rotten and damaged portions, rinse the orchid thoroughly with clean water. This step helps remove rotten sap, dirt, and damaged tissue fragments that remain on the plant after pruning. In addition, cleaning the plant also helps reduce bacteria and fungal diseases still attached to the stem or base, creating more favorable conditions for future recovery. To treat and support the recovery of this orchid, today I will use onion peels. This is something many people usually throw away, but in reality, onion peels contain many antioxidants, natural minerals, and antibacterial compounds that are highly beneficial for plants. These nutrients help limit fungal diseases, clean the environment around the base of the plant, and support the orchid in recovering better after stem rot or root rot. If you want to learn the secret to caring for Phalaenopsis orchids, make sure to watch this video carefully until the end. Your orchids will become strong, grow new roots, and bloom vibrantly all year round. Next, I will cut the onion peels into small pieces and place them into a clean glass cup to prepare a treatment solution for the orchid. In addition, onion peels help stimulate the activity of healthy tissues that remain, creating favorable conditions for the orchid to develop new roots and new shoots later. Next, I will use 2 cloves of garlic. Garlic contains allicin, a natural compound with excellent antibacterial and antifungal properties that helps protect orchids from the causes of stem rot and root rot. In addition, allicin helps clean the environment around the base of the plant, limits bacterial development, and strengthens the natural resistance of weakened orchids. After chopping the garlic into small pieces, I will place it together with the onion peels. When combined with onion peels, this mixture creates a natural solution that helps the orchid recover more effectively and supports the development of new roots and new shoots after treatment. Next, I will add approximately 500 milliliters of hot water. Hot water helps extract the nutrients and natural compounds from the onion peels and garlic more quickly into the water. After that, gently stir the mixture and allow it to soak for a period of time, so the nutrients can be fully released before being used on the orchid. Close the lid and steep the mixture until the water cools completely. After approximately 3 hours, when the solution has cooled completely, I will filter out all of the onion peels and garlic. We only keep the nutrient-rich liquid for use on the orchid. At this point, the natural antibacterial compounds and beneficial minerals from the onion, peels, and garlic have dissolved into the water, creating a highly effective recovery solution for weakened or rotting orchids. Next, I will dilute the solution with approximately 1 liter of clean water. Diluting the solution reduces its concentration and allows the orchid to absorb the nutrients more gently and safely during recovery. After preparing the disinfecting solution, soak the entire base of the orchid in the solution for approximately 15 minutes. During soaking, the nutrients and natural antibacterial compounds from the onion, peels, and garlic gradually penetrate the base of the orchid, helping limit fungal diseases and supporting recovery after rot damage. I will use the remaining solution to soak the pine bark that will be used as the new growing medium. This helps clean the growing medium, limits fungal diseases that may exist in the pine bark, and creates a healthier environment for new roots to develop after replanting. After approximately 15 minutes of soaking, I will remove the orchid and begin replanting it. First, place the orchid in the center of the pot so the stem stands upright and balanced. Then gently place the treated pine bark around the base to secure the orchid and help it remain stable during growth. Pine bark improves aeration, reduces water accumulation around the roots, and creates a suitable environment for healthy new root development. Which country are you watching this video from? It's wonderful that we can connect with each other from all over the world. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please hit the subscribe button to support me and not miss any orchid care tips. Finally, I will add a thin layer of moss on the surface. This layer of moss helps maintain gentle moisture around the base of the orchid, reduces excessive drying, and supports more stable recovery after replanting. Use cinnamon powder to promote faster healing of the cut surfaces. After planting, place the orchid in a dry, airy location away from direct sunlight. During the first 3 days, do not water the orchid. This is very important because after removing rotten tissue and treating the orchid, the cut surfaces are still highly sensitive. If watered too early, excessive moisture may allow bacteria and fungal diseases to become active again. After approximately 3 days, when the orchid has adapted better, you can begin watering lightly again as normal to maintain moisture and support healthy new root growth. Results. After 3 months. After approximately 3 months of care, the orchid has begun producing new shoots beside the original stem. This is a very positive sign, showing that the orchid has adapted and recovered after treatment. Not only that, new root tips have also started to appear. The new roots are bright green and developing strongly, proving that the orchid is absorbing moisture and nutrients much more effectively. At this stage, the most important thing is continuing to maintain good air circulation and stable moisture around the plant. I will continue watering gently and monitoring the development of the orchid every day. With patience and proper care, the orchid will gradually recover completely and grow healthily again. A place that shares extremely useful orchid care tips, helping orchid plants always stay green and produce healthier and more beautiful flowers every day. Many of you have orchid plants that have been grown for a long time. The plant stem gradually becomes older, stretches longer, and many aerial roots begin appearing along the stem like this. This is a sign showing that the plant has developed for many years and is gradually entering a slower growth stage. At this stage, the old root system usually absorbs nutrients less effectively, causing the plant to produce leaves more slowly and reducing its flowering ability over time. Therefore, at this point, we need to rejuvenate the orchid plant once again, to stimulate the plant to create a healthier new root system and help the plant absorb nutrients more effectively during the next stage. And in today's video, I will guide you on how to divide this orchid pot into 2 separate orchid pots. First, you need to use specialized scissors and spray alcohol to thoroughly disinfect them before cutting the plant. This step is very important because it helps limit bacteria and fungal diseases from entering the cut wound of the orchid plant. After that, I will cut at the middle part of the plant stem like this. Please note that you should not cut too close to the top part, because the upper section of the plant still needs enough aerial roots to continue developing after separation. At the same time, you should also not cut too close to the base because the lower section of the plant still needs to retain enough leaves and dormant buds to produce new shoots later. Choosing the correct cutting position will help both separated parts of the plant recover more effectively, quickly develop new roots, and continue growing healthily. Next, I will use plant wound sealing glue and apply it directly onto the cut surface. This step helps protect the cut wound from bacteria, fungal diseases, and limits soft rot after separating the plant. In addition, the wound sealing glue also helps the cut dry more quickly, supports better plant recovery, and reduces the risk of water loss from the freshly treated stem section. In addition to the English voice, we have now created dubbed voices in French, German, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, Japanese, Hindi, and Indonesian to help you understand the content more easily. Listen in your preferred language by opening the video and clicking on Settings, the gear icon, to select the appropriate audio language. Place the plant in a dry and airy location so the wounds can heal completely. Next, I will prepare the growing medium foundation for planting the orchid. Next, I will use a plastic mesh like this to create a growing medium frame for the orchid plant. This type of mesh helps the root system become much more airy, while also creating space for the aerial roots to continue developing healthily after separation. In addition, the mesh frame helps the growing medium maintain stability while still ensuring good drainage and airflow, something extremely important for Phalaenopsis orchids. Please pay close attention and carefully follow each step in the video, because if done correctly, the orchid plant after separation will quickly produce new roots and recover very well. Which country are you watching this video from? It's wonderful that we can connect with each other from all over the world. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please hit the subscribe button to support me and not miss any orchid care tips. To replant the orchid plant, today I will use moss as the main growing medium. Moss has very good moisture retention ability, helping maintain stable moisture for the root system, especially suitable for orchid plants that have just been separated. Next, I will prepare about 1 liter of clean water. Then add 1 teaspoon of baking soda and stir thoroughly until completely dissolved. After that, I will pour the entire baking soda solution in to soak the moss for 10 minutes. This method helps clean the moss and supports removing fungal diseases, bacteria, and impurities still existing in the growing medium before using it for the orchid plant. In addition, soaking like this also helps the moss absorb enough necessary moisture, creating a cleaner and more stable environment for the orchid plant's new roots to develop healthily after replanting. After about 10 minutes, I will remove the moss and gently squeeze out excess water. At this stage, the moss has retained a moderate amount of moisture, very suitable for planting Phalaenopsis orchids. This gentle moisture helps create a favorable environment for root development while still ensuring enough airflow, limiting water accumulation that causes root rot. Now, gently place the prepared moss into the growing medium frame that we created earlier. When adding the moss, do not compress it too tightly. Keep the moss loose and airy enough so air can still circulate around the root system. This helps the orchid plant's new roots develop more easily, while also limiting prolonged water retention that causes waterlogging and root rot. If you want to learn the secret to caring for Phalaenopsis orchids, make sure to watch this video carefully until the end. Your orchids will become strong, grow new roots, and bloom vibrantly all year round. I have created subtitles in multiple languages. Please select your preferred language. Comment below and let me know which country you are watching from. It's amazing that we can connect from all around the world. After adding enough moss, the growing medium frame will create a stable environment that retains gentle moisture while still remaining airy, very suitable for helping the orchid plant after separation develop and recover. Now, I will secure the separated orchid plant section onto this growing medium frame. Next, use soft ties to gently and naturally secure the plant, avoiding tying too tightly, which could damage the stem or aerial roots of the plant. When secured outside the frame like this, the stem and aerial roots of the plant will lightly contact the moist moss layer inside. The stable moisture from the moss will stimulate the plant to quickly produce many new roots. After a period of time, these new roots will automatically grow longer and firmly attach to the growing medium behind them, helping the plant become more stable and develop more healthily. This is a very effective method to help orchid plants after separation recover quickly, limit stem rot, and stimulate the new root system to develop more strongly. Finally, hang the plant in a windy location with good airflow and avoid direct sunlight. During the stage after separating the plant, the new roots are still very weak, so the plant needs a stable environment to recover and gradually adapt. Good airflow helps limit fungal diseases and helps the moss maintain moderate moisture without becoming excessively wet. Now, I will make another natural fertilizer to gently supplement nutrients for the orchid plant during the recovery stage. Today I will use aloe vera to create a moisturizing solution for the orchid plant. Aloe vera contains many vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and natural organic compounds that help support gentle moisture retention, soothe the plant after separation, and stimulate healthier root development. In addition, aloe vera gel also helps the plant limit water loss, supports greener, healthier leaves, and creates favorable conditions for the plant to quickly adapt to the new environment. Which country are you watching this video from? It's wonderful that we can connect with each other from all over the world. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please hit the subscribe button to support me and not miss any orchid care tips. Place all of the aloe vera flesh after removing the peel into a blender. Then add about 300 milliliters of clean water and thoroughly blend the mixture. Blending thoroughly helps the aloe vera gel dissolve better into the water, helping the orchid plant more easily absorb the natural nutrients contained in the aloe vera. After blending, I will filter out all of the residue, keeping only the nutrient-rich liquid for use on the orchid plant. Next, dilute the solution with about 1 liter of clean water to reduce the concentration and help the plant absorb it more gently. That is it. We have completed a natural nutrient solution that helps support better moisture retention for the orchid plant, reduces stress after separation, and stimulates the recovery process as well as faster new root development. First, pour the aloe vera solution into a mist spray bottle. If you want to learn the secret to caring for Phalaenopsis orchids, make sure to watch this video carefully until the end. Your orchids will become strong, grow new roots, and bloom vibrantly all year round. After that, lightly and evenly spray the entire orchid plant that has just been attached to the growing medium. When mist spraying, the solution helps provide gentle moisture for the stem, leaves, and aerial roots of the plant, supporting the plant and limiting water loss during the stage before the new root system becomes stable. In addition, the natural nutrients in aloe vera also help the plant reduce stress after separation, support faster recovery, and stimulate healthier new root development. Pour the remaining solution into a watering bottle and gently water directly around the orchid base. Aloe vera helps maintain gentle moisture around the root area, supports the plant in limiting water loss, and creates a favorable environment for new roots to quickly develop. In addition, the natural nutrients in aloe vera also help the plant reduce stress after separation, support faster recovery, and help both leaves and roots develop more healthily. The remaining aloe vera solution can also be used to care for other orchid plants in your garden. This method is very effective for supplementing gentle moisture and supporting healthier plant development. As long as you use it correctly and consistently, orchid plants will gradually develop healthier root systems, greener, firmer leaves, and absorb nutrients more effectively. Please care for your orchid plants with love, patience, and enthusiasm. Then one day, they will reward you with beautiful, healthy flower spikes, vibrant, colorful flowers, more blooms, and flowers that remain on the spikes longer. What do you think about this method of separating and rejuvenating this Phalaenopsis orchid pot? At the present time, many orchids are prone to stem rot, yellowing leaves, and mass death if not properly cared for. Especially for orchids that have just finished blooming. If you leave them as they are and continue caring for them the same way, the plants will easily weaken and die quickly. In today's video, I will guide you through a completely new replanting method that helps limit diseases, promotes healthy growth, and allows the plant to bloom regularly again. Please watch until the end so you do not miss any important steps. And if you are new to the channel, do not forget to subscribe to Wonder Garden to get more useful orchid care tips. When orchids have finished blooming, you should not throw them away, but you also should not keep them as they are to continue caring for them. Many people think that simply applying a lot of chemical fertilizer can help the plant bloom again, but that is completely incorrect. When caring for orchids after the flowers have faded, you need to carefully check the flower spike. If all the nodes on the spike have bloomed, you should completely cut off the flower spike, because at this point it can no longer continue to develop. If there are still dormant nodes on the spike that have not bloomed, cut off the upper part that has already bloomed and keep the dormant nodes. The remaining dormant nodes can continue to develop into new flower spikes, helping the plant bloom again faster without requiring too much recovery time. Next, after cutting off the flower spike, what you need to do is remove all the old moss surrounding the base. This helps me check the condition of the root system inside to see which roots are still healthy and which ones are damaged and need to be removed. Moss, after a period of transportation and care, is often prone to bacterial contamination, retains moisture for too long, and causes orchid roots to suffocate and lack oxygen. Therefore, we need to completely remove the old moss and replace it with a cleaner, new-growing medium. Only when the root system is cleaned and well ventilated can the orchid begin the recovery process, regenerate new roots, and absorb nutrients most effectively. This is an important step that helps the plant become healthy from within and prepares it for the next stage of development. In addition to the English voice, we have now created dubbed voices in French, German, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, Japanese, Hindi, and Indonesian to help you understand the content more easily. Listen in your preferred language by opening the video and clicking on Settings, the gear icon, to select the appropriate audio language. After removing all the old moss, I will begin to carefully inspect the root system. Any roots that are rotten, dark brown, mushy, or broken need to be cut off immediately. Removing these damaged roots helps prevent the spread of bacteria and creates better conditions for the remaining healthy roots to grow stronger. Which country are you watching this video from? It's wonderful that we can connect with each other from all over the world. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please hit the subscribe button to support me and not miss any orchid care tips. To ensure absolute safety for the plant, after removing all the damaged roots, I will rinse the entire plant with clean water. This washing step helps completely remove dirt and remaining bacteria on the roots and base, and also allows us to clearly observe the condition of the roots after pruning. When the plant is cleaned like this, the recovery process will be faster, and the risk of infection after replanting will be minimized. To treat this orchid, I will use lime. I will make use of overripe or spoiled limes like these and squeeze out the juice. This method helps us optimally utilize kitchen waste and avoid wasting materials. If you want to learn the secret to caring for Phalaenopsis orchids, make sure to watch this video carefully until the end. Your orchids will become strong, grow new roots, and bloom vibrantly all year round. I will use about 3 teaspoons of lime juice mixed with 1 liter of clean water. Lime contains natural acids along with antibacterial and antifungal compounds, which help clean the root system, remove bacteria, and effectively limit fungal diseases. Stirring well to create a treatment solution. Then, I will soak the entire base of the orchid in the diluted lime solution. This step allows the solution to come into direct contact with the roots, supporting antibacterial action, cleaning, and removing any remaining fungi. You should soak it for about 10 to 15 minutes, enough to be effective while still safe for the roots. The remaining lime solution will be used to soak charcoal, which will be used as the growing medium for replanting the orchid. The lime solution helps disinfect, remove fungi and bacteria from the charcoal, and clean the growing medium before use, making the environment safer for the roots. If you want to learn the secret to caring for Phalaenopsis orchids, make sure to watch this video carefully until the end. Your orchids will become strong, grow new roots, and bloom vibrantly all year round. While waiting, I will prepare an additional nutrient solution for the plant. I use about 3 tablespoons of rice because rice contains B vitamins, minerals, and natural nutrients that help stimulate root growth and increase the plant's resistance. Then, I add about 500 milliliters of water. Stir well, and cover to soak for about 10 minutes so that the nutrients dissolve into the water. After about 15 minutes, I will take the orchid out of the solution and strain out the rice, keeping only the rice water. At this point, I will continue soaking the base of the orchid in the rice water to provide additional natural nutrients. At the same time, I will use a soft cotton pad soaked in rice water to wipe all the orchid leaves, both the upper and lower surfaces. Rice water contains B vitamins and minerals that help clean the leaves, increase resistance, and support faster recovery. This combined step helps the plant both be disinfected and receive nutrients, creating favorable conditions for new root growth and more stable development. After that, I will remove the charcoal growing medium from the lemon solution and let it drain. This step ensures the charcoal is not too wet, preventing water stagnation during planting while still maintaining cleanliness and antibacterial properties from the lemon solution. When the growing medium has drained, it will create a ventilated, clean, and stable environment, helping the root system adapt and grow better after replanting. After another 15 minutes, I will take the orchid and begin replanting. To replant this orchid, I will use a plastic cup or a glass cup without drainage holes to easily control moisture. Next, I place the orchid in the center of the cup so that it is balanced and upright. Then proceed to pack charcoal around the root system. When packing, you should handle it gently so the charcoal can fill the gaps between the roots, helping the plant stand firmly while still ensuring ventilation. The charcoal growing medium helps create a clean, airy environment, limits fungal diseases, and supports more stable root development after replanting. Which country are you watching this video from? It's wonderful that we can connect with each other from all over the world. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please hit the subscribe button to support me and not miss any orchid care tips. Finally, pour a small amount of water into the bottom of the container. This method creates moderate humidity from below. The water will evaporate and provide gentle moisture to the roots, while the upper roots remain ventilated and exposed to air. As a result, the orchid receives sufficient moisture while avoiding waterlogging that causes root rot. This is a very effective method to help the plant recover quickly, stimulate new root growth, and develop more stably after replanting. This is also an extremely useful method when you do not have much time to care for or water orchids regularly. Thanks to the mechanism of maintaining stable humidity, the plant can still grow healthily without requiring too much care. Finally, place the plant near a window or in a location with indirect light, avoiding strong direct sunlight, creating ideal conditions for recovery and stable growth. Result after 6 months. After about 6 months, the orchid has developed very strongly. You can see many new roots appearing, white, thick, and healthy, helping the plant absorb water and nutrients more effectively. When the root system is healthy, the plant becomes sturdier, with glossy green leaves full of vitality. Especially a new flower spike has appeared, proving that the plant has fully recovered and is ready to enter the blooming stage. Most beginners, when they see orchids withered and yellowing like this, often don't know how to care for and restore them, so they choose to throw them away without any regret. But for an orchid lover with experience, such plants can absolutely be saved and grow again, if you know the right way to care for them. In today's video, I will bring this orchid home and guide you step by step to restore it, helping it grow new roots, become lush green, and be able to bloom again. This season is the ideal time to revive orchids like this. Follow until the end of the video so you don't miss any important steps. And if you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe to Wonder Garden to learn more useful orchid care tips. First, we need to prepare a nutrient solution to restore the orchid. Today I will use granulated sugar, a very simple ingredient that can support the plant very well during its weakened stage. Sugar contains an easily absorbable energy source, helping the plant quickly replenish energy, especially when the plant is exhausted, weak, or has just been damaged. In addition, the sugar solution also helps stimulate cell activity, supporting the plant to recover, grow new roots, and develop more steadily. Next, I will add 1 spoon of dry yeast to the solution. Dry yeast contains beneficial microorganisms, enzymes, and B vitamins, which help stimulate the breakdown of nutrients, thereby making it easier for the plant to absorb them. In addition, yeast also helps enhance the microbial system around the roots, helping the roots grow stronger and function more effectively. Next, I will add about 500 milliliters of warm water to the mixture to help the sugar and dry yeast dissolve faster. Warm water helps activate the yeast, allowing the microorganisms to start working, thereby making the solution richer in nutrients and easier to absorb. You should stir well so that the mixture dissolves completely. Finally, cover the container and let it sit for about 15 minutes so the nutrients from the dry yeast are fully extracted. After 15 minutes, strain the mixture thoroughly, keeping only the clear yeast and sugar liquid. This careful filtering ensures the solution is clean and free of residue, preventing clogging during use and reducing the risk of bacterial growth. I have created subtitles in multiple languages. Please select your preferred language. Comment below and let me know which country you are watching from. It's amazing that we can connect from all around the world. Then dilute the solution with about 1 liter of clean water to lower the concentration, making it safe for weak orchids. Now, I will use this solution to care for wilted orchids in 3 different ways. Method 1. Pour the solution into a spray bottle. Then lightly and evenly spray it over all the leaves of the orchid. When spraying, adjust it into a fine mist so it evenly covers both the upper and lower surfaces of the leaves, allowing the plant to absorb nutrients quickly and effectively. The sugar and dry yeast solution will help the plant replenish energy, stimulate recovery, and improve vitality, especially suitable for weak or wilted plants. You should spray in the early morning or late afternoon, avoiding strong sunlight for best results and to limit rapid evaporation. Which country are you watching this video from? It's wonderful that we can connect with each other from all over the world. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please hit the subscribe button to support me and not miss any orchid care tips. Especially after spraying for about 5 to 10 minutes, you need to use a soft cloth or clean cotton to wipe off any remaining solution in the leaf crevices. Areas such as leaf axils and gaps between leaves easily retain water. If left too long, it can cause stagnation, creating conditions for fungal diseases and rot. Wiping helps the plant stay dry and airy, while still retaining the necessary nutrients already absorbed into the leaves. This is a small but very important step to ensure the orchid recovers safely and avoids problems after care. Method 2. I not only use the sugar and yeast solution for the leaves, but also apply it to the root system of the orchid to help them grow stronger. I will use about 8 tablespoons of the prepared yeast solution, then gently water around the roots so the plant can absorb the nutrients. You can apply this fertilizer once a month, but note not to overuse it, as the amount used plays a very important role. Beneficial microbes will help create a favorable environment for the roots, support the decomposition of organic matter, and stimulate root growth, while sugar provides energy, helping the plant recover quickly and increase vitality. I will apply the same process to other orchids in my garden. After foliar feeding, place the plant in a well-ventilated area, such as near a window or balcony, so the water on the leaves can dry naturally, avoiding water stagnation that causes fungal diseases. If you want to learn the secret to caring for Phalaenopsis orchids, make sure to watch this video carefully until the end. Your orchids will become strong, grow new roots, and bloom vibrantly all year round. Results after 2 months. After about 2 months, the orchids that were once wilted have gradually recovered clearly. The leaves become firmer, greener, and healthier, showing that the plant has absorbed nutrients well and stabilized again. In particular, the plant has begun to produce many new roots, white and healthy, helping increase its ability to absorb water and nutrients. Which country are you watching this video from? It's wonderful that we can connect with each other from all over the world. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please hit the subscribe button to support me and not miss any orchid care tips. Not only that, some plants have also started to produce new flower buds from the leaf axils, which is a sign that the plant is strong enough to enter the flowering stage. This proves that with proper care and patience, orchids that seem to be discarded can still recover strongly and bloom again. Now, I will guide you with another method to revive severely wilted orchids. Here, I have an orchid whose leaves are wilted and the base almost has no healthy roots left. For many people, such a plant might be thrown away, but in fact, as long as the leaves are still green, it still has the ability to recover. First, take the plant out of the pot. Then use sterilized scissors to cut off all damaged roots. This removal helps completely eliminate dead roots, prevent the spread of fungal diseases, and create conditions for the plant to focus nutrients on the stem and stimulate new root growth. After that, rinse the entire orchid with clean water to remove dirt, bacteria, and remaining sap after trimming. When rinsing, do it gently to avoid damaging the stem and the remaining healthy tissues of the plant. This step ensures the plant is completely clean before the next treatment and reduces the risk of fungal growth during recovery. After rinsing, I will soak the entire orchid in the prepared yeast and sugar solution. This solution helps the plant quickly replenish energy, while the beneficial microorganisms in the yeast support tissue recovery and stimulate regeneration. You should soak for about 30 minutes so the plant absorbs enough nutrients while remaining safe. After about 30 minutes, I will take the orchid out of the solution and let it dry completely. After 1 hour, when the plant is completely dry, I will start applying the reverse hydroponic method to revive the orchid. Put the plant in a cup of clean water so that the water only covers part of the orchid leaves. During this process, I also create a mini greenhouse environment by using plastic wrap to cover the top of the container. Then poking a few small holes to ensure air can still circulate. This method helps maintain stable humidity around the plant, reduces water loss, and creates ideal conditions to stimulate new root growth. Finally, place the plant in a cool, airy place with gentle light, avoiding direct sunlight so the plant does not suffer heat shock and can recover better. Maintain this environment, and the orchid will gradually adapt, grow new roots, and revive strongly over time. Now, let's look at the results after 3 weeks. You can see that new roots have started to grow from the orchid stem, which is a clear sign that the plant is recovering and adapting very well to this method. When these roots grow long and stable enough, you just need to replant the orchid as usual, and it will grow faster and stronger. Remember that no matter how wilted or exhausted your orchid is, if cared for properly, you can completely revive it. When you care for your plants with patience, love, and passion, you will receive healthy orchid pots and brilliant flowers in return. Phalaenopsis orchids you just bought. Care for them like this, and it's almost impossible for them to die. Don't rush to cut off flower spikes that are still blooming or haven't fully faded. Let the plant finish blooming naturally, then proceed to prune the spike to help it recover. A place that shares extremely useful and easy to apply tips for caring for orchids and ornamental plants at home. In today's video, I will guide you on how to use a few simple ingredients available in the kitchen to repot orchids that have finished blooming in a quick, time-saving, yet highly effective way. This method will help stimulate new root growth, speed up recovery, and encourage the plant to bloom again soon, allowing you to always have lush and vibrant orchid pots all year round. Let's get started. For orchids that have finished blooming, the first thing you need to do is check the entire root system. If the plant shows signs of root rot, yellowing leaves, or stem rot, you need to completely remove the old moss to avoid excessive moisture retention that can lead to fungal infection and worsen the condition. On the other hand, if the plant is still healthy, with green leaves and active roots, then you don't need to remove all the moss. Instead, just trim off dry, old, or ineffective roots. This pruning helps the plant focus nutrients on developing new roots, while also stimulating the formation of a stronger root system, creating a solid foundation for recovery and future blooming. In addition to the English voice, we have now created dubbed voices in French, German, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, Japanese, Hindi, and Indonesian to help you understand the content more easily. Listen in your preferred language by opening the video and clicking on Settings, the gear icon, to select the appropriate audio language. After pruning, place the plant in a cool, well-ventilated area for about 1 day to allow the cuts to dry naturally. This step is very important because it helps prevent bacteria and fungi from entering the wounds, reducing the risk of root rot after repotting. The ingredient I use today is coffee. Coffee contains nitrogen, minerals, and organic compounds that help stimulate growth, green the leaves, and improve the overall health of orchids. In addition, coffee also helps improve the growing medium environment, supporting beneficial microorganisms, thereby helping roots absorb nutrients more effectively. I will dissolve 1 teaspoon of coffee in about 500 milliliters of hot water. Then stir well so that the nutrients in the coffee are extracted into the water. Hot water helps quickly release organic compounds, minerals, and nutrients, creating a nutrient-rich solution for orchids. After stirring, you should let the solution sit for 1 day before using it to avoid affecting the plant's roots. Next, I will use rice. Rice water contains vitamin B, minerals, and natural trace elements, helping provide light nutrition, stimulate root growth, and increase the plant's resistance. I will mix about 3 tablespoons of rice with 500 milliliters of clean water. Which country are you watching this video from? It's wonderful that we can connect with each other from all over the world. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please hit the subscribe button to support me and not miss any orchid care tips. Then cover and let it sit for about 1 day. After about 1 day, I will filter out all the residue from both solutions, keeping only the liquid extract for use. Careful filtering helps make the solution clearer and cleaner, preventing residue from sticking to roots or leaves, which could cause blockage and fungal issues. The resulting liquid now contains nutrients from both coffee and rice water, helping the plant absorb easily, recover quickly, and grow more steadily. This is an important step to ensure the solution is safe, effective, and suitable for orchids during care. Now, I will use a soft cotton pad soaked in the coffee solution, then gently wipe both sides of the orchid leaves. When wiping, you should do it slowly and carefully, cleaning both the top and underside of the leaves, because the underside is where the plant exchanges gases and absorbs nutrients more effectively. The coffee solution helps clean dirt, remove bacteria on the leaves, and at the same time provide a light amount of nutrients, making the leaves greener, shinier, and stronger. In addition, regular leaf cleaning helps improve photosynthesis, allowing the plant to grow more steadily and recover faster after treatment. You should wipe gently to avoid scratching the leaves and maintain this regularly to keep the orchid healthy and able to absorb nutrients better. After cleaning the leaves, I will mix the two solutions together to create a complete mixture. Then proceed to soak the entire leaves and stem of the orchid in the solution. For orchids infected with fungi or showing signs of rot, after pruning and letting the cuts dry in a ventilated area, you can completely soak the whole plant in this solution to disinfect, clean, and support faster recovery. However, for my orchid, since I did not remove the old moss, I only soak the stem and leaves, avoiding soaking the moss-covered base. If soaked, the moss would retain water too long, easily causing stagnation and leading to root rot. Proper handling like this helps clean the plant, allow appropriate nutrient absorption, while still maintaining the necessary airflow for the roots, helping the plant recover and grow more stably. After about 15 minutes, I will remove the orchid from the solution. Then use a soft cloth or clean cotton to gently wipe the entire plant to remove any remaining solution. This helps prevent water from accumulating in leaf joints and stems, especially in areas prone to holding moisture, thereby reducing the risk of fungal diseases and soft rot. When wiping, do it gently, just enough to dry the surface while still leaving a thin layer of moisture so the plant can continue absorbing nutrients. Next, I will proceed to repot the orchid. To repot this orchid, first I will place a layer of leca clay pebbles at the bottom of the pot to improve drainage and airflow for the roots. Then, I will place the orchid neatly in the center of the pot, adjusting it so that the base sits slightly above the pot surface to avoid being buried too deep, which could cause water accumulation and crown rot. Next, I will use pine bark to gently fill around the roots, helping the plant stand firmly while still ensuring the medium remains loose and airy for better root growth. You should handle gently and avoid compacting too tightly to create an ideal environment for the plant to recover quickly and grow strong new roots. If you want to learn the secret to caring for Phalaenopsis orchids, make sure to watch this video carefully until the end. Your orchids will become strong, grow new roots, and bloom vibrantly all year round. Next, place a plastic dish under the pot like this to help retain a small amount of water, creating stable humidity for the orchid. The soaking solution used earlier will also be reused to water the orchid pot. However, you should not pour directly onto the orchid base, but only water lightly around the new growing medium. This method allows the solution to gradually reach the roots, providing nutrients effectively while avoiding water accumulation at the base and reducing the risk of rot. For the plastic dish under the pot, make sure to maintain a consistent level of clean water. The water below will slowly wick up into the Licae layer, creating stable humidity for the entire pot, helping the roots stay moist without becoming waterlogged. This mechanism allows the orchid to receive moisture continuously in a natural way, reducing the need for frequent watering while still ensuring proper aeration for the roots. For the orchid stems shown at the beginning of the video, cut them into small segments, each containing at least one dormant node like this. Which country are you watching this video from? It's wonderful that we can connect with each other from all over the world. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please hit the subscribe button to support me and not miss any orchid care tips. Next, carefully peel off the protective layer covering the dormant node, allowing it to be exposed directly to light, thereby stimulating sprouting and faster development of new plants. Then, melt candle wax and seal both ends of each segment with the wax. This helps seal the cuts, prevent water loss, and protect against bacteria and fungi entering the orchid stems. At the same time, it helps retain moisture inside, creating favorable conditions for the dormant node to develop and sprout new shoots. In addition to the English voice, we have now created dubbed voices in French, German, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, Japanese, Hindi, and Indonesian to help you understand the content more easily. Listen in your preferred language by opening the video and clicking on Settings, the gear icon, to select the appropriate audio language. To propagate these orchid segments, I will use a plastic container with a lid like this. Inside, I add a layer of slightly moist moss to maintain stable humidity. Then, place the orchid segments on top of the moss, making sure the dormant nodes face upward and are not completely covered, so they receive enough light and airflow. After that, lightly mist with water to maintain humidity. Then close the lid to create a mini greenhouse environment. This environment retains moisture and reduces water loss. Results. After about 1 month, my orchid has produced many new roots, which is a clear sign that the plant has adapted well to the new environment and is beginning to recover strongly. This proves that this care method is effective, helping stimulate root growth, increase resistance, and promote more stable development. When the root system becomes strong, the plant will absorb nutrients better, creating a foundation for leaf growth, new shoots, and preparing for blooming in the near future. After 2 months, you can see that from the 2 original orchid stems, they have developed into 2 healthy young orchid plants. The root system has grown long, strong, and firmly anchored, showing that the plants have adapted well and are ready for the next stage of growth. At this stage, we can change the growing environment to help the plants develop more steadily and vigorously. I will use a breathable plastic pot, placing a layer of pine bark at the bottom to ensure good drainage and aeration for the roots. Then, I will add a layer of moss on top, reusing the moss that was previously used for propagation. Next, place each young orchid neatly into the pot and gently tuck moss around the base to keep the plant stable and prevent it from shifting. This planting method helps maintain necessary moisture while still ensuring proper aeration, creating ideal conditions for the roots to continue developing strongly and for the plant to grow healthily. Water regularly, maintain appropriate moisture, and place the plant in a cool area with indirect light, avoiding direct sunlight. With proper care and the right environment, the plant will grow steadily and become stronger over time. Take care of your orchids with love and passion, and you will be rewarded with vibrant, long-lasting, and lively blooms.